Hey there, thanks for listening to So You Want to Get on Stage. I'm Bonnie Lefrak, and I'm interviewing my favorite clients and coaches. I hope you enjoy. This is our podcast that talks all about all things competing, whether you are a seasoned competitor or whether you're just a curious stalker. That's where it all starts. I am introducing my interviewee today is Kelly Woodring, and this is an exciting one because Kelly was a client of mine at the Fitness Asylum, had been there for several years, had done the Body Challenge programs, and then she was part of the very first team that the Fitness Asylum put forward. Although I had coached other competitors to get on stage, never in my wildest dreams did I ever imagine, it was never on my bucket list, never on my dance card, that I was like, I'm going to have a bikini team, right? That I just was like, I don't even know where to start with that. So this is going to be a fun conversation. Kelly, if you want to give a little bit of detail, like who you are, how old you are, just fill in that part, and we're just going to get
Yeah,
right into it.
it sounds good. Yeah, I'm Kelly. I have seen a lot of people through posing classes and oh, geez, like back in the day, coaching boot camps at the Fitness Asylum. But the reality is, I'm not that exciting. I'm just a mom in Shrewsbury who happened to see, some social advertisement about the Fitness Asylum back in 2013 or 2012. I don't even remember at this point. But yeah, so I've been competing for about 10 years now, I want to say. Earned
Yeah.
my pro card in 2016 and it just kept going from there. I ended up coming in second at the World Championships in 2017 with Bonnie, and that was like the highlight. So I've been competing for a while. I absolutely love it. I love the posing aspect of it, love the stage aspect of it. So excited to talk to you and have been going through my posts just laughing at the whole experience back in 2013 when we first started, 2014.
The
So
original,
excited to be
yeah.
here. Yeah.
So I Kelly and I had obviously a pre-conversation before I hit record again, and part of it was like, wow, okay, so Kelly, she has a unique perspective, not just because she has so many years in this particular industry, as it were, but she started as like from the very beginning of our, I'll call it the bikini team. Our competitors actually have access to compete across all categories, but when we first started, it started very, I'll say organically and very innocently. I don't think any of us were like, all right, we have a master plan. This is what we're going to do. Nobody, my clients, Kelly included, had been at the Fitness Asylum for a few years. They were doing boot camp classes. They were working out. They were like, okay, this looks good. This feels good. I'm going to do this body challenge. I'm going to clean up my eating. I'm going to see results. And the body challenge was always designed to be, even though maybe I'd never expressed it, but I figured it out pretty quickly that people would do it once or twice or three times. And every single time get a little bit leaner or practice the habits, but you do get to a point, right? The true
Mhm.
place that a human brain goes to is, okay, what's next? What's next?
Mhm.
Would always have people say, what does maintenance look like? And I would be like, what do you even mean? Like I just never, it's interesting how people can have different, now what? I'm like, whatever you did to lose weight is pretty much what you're going to do. And people hate that answer.
Yes.
But there was a group, including you, and I remember
Mhm.
another one was Jen Mallet. I remember Jen Kelmer at the time. I remember
Yeah.
distinctly, hey, we need to talk to you. I'm like,
Yes.
okay, I'm listening. What's next? Because here we are. We've all done this before, like the body challenge. We have great results. Do you have a next level? And I was like, okay, I'll be right back. BRB. Because I'm sure you
Yes.
probably were ready.
It was. It was. I remember we started, and I was 28 at the time. I'll be 41 this summer, so that puts that into perspective. But I remember starting the program and going through one round, being excited. Oh, okay, cool. This is working. I'm losing weight. I think I started at 144 is what I looked at today. And I ended at like 120 something in 12 weeks. So
Yeah.
I was like, this is great. This is a whole, I feel better. My anxiety's gone. I feel healthier, more energy because my son at the time was 4 years old. He's driving now. So It's crazy.
It
But
is crazy.
yeah, and we went through, there was a 6 week winter challenge that we went through, and then another body challenge. And that was really like the maintenance period, right? Now we're building lifetime habits. We
Yeah.
know based on what you've said and other coaches, this is our lifestyle. And the competitiveness in me, I was an athlete in high school, always very competitive in work and things like that. And I just wanted, I'm like, what's next? What do we do now? Where do we go? And here comes
Yeah.
Connie into the group page, just dangling the little carrot.
Honestly, it was so when this is posed to me, I went off. I remember I was on a walk and I'm, oh, do I introduce this idea of contest prep to a group? Like I
Yeah.
do it, like my competitors from 2005 until that time were onesies, twosies, threesies. Maybe in a season I'd have 4 or 5 people compete and they were separate from the fitness asylum. Some of them
Mhm.
were out of the fitness asylum. I don't know if you remember what the heck's her name. Oh shoot, Robin Mays.
Robin Mays was my very first boot camp instructor.
Yeah,
So that was my only exposure to competing was I remember walking in the first day of boot camp, and at the time my son was 4, and I'm saying I didn't lose my pregnancy weight. I was very out of shape, and for me. And I'm walking in, and I think Robin was in prep with you at the time, gearing up for it would have probably been Monster Mash at that time, I'm
yeah.
assuming. And I walked in and she had her back to me, and I'll never forget because she's not a bikini competitor. She's like a world champ figure or fit body was she?
I think
And
she actually did bodybuilding.
yeah, and
Yeah.
she was just lean as you could be, totally ripped. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna turn around and walk out the door. I'm not staying for this.
That's right. She's never going to see me. I'm just going to exit stage. Yeah. So there were like, I had some crossover, right?
Yeah.
Between I'm coaching Robin Mays. So, you know what? Let me get her into my ecosystem because
Mhm.
she's very fit and she works out and she's going to be a great role model, but also somewhat intimidating. Speaking of which, she still competes now, which is so mind blowing. But I so I had competitors, never really thought, okay, we're going to do something on a bigger scale, just like a body challenge where we'd have a group of people. And I remember I was on a walk. I can remember it like it was yesterday. And I'm talking to Nancy Andrews on the phone, who at the time is both the show promoter and but she's the president of the WNBF. And I'm just talking. I'm not like I'm going to ask her anything. I'm just that I don't even know what made me bring it up. Hey, I'm thinking this is what I might do is introduce contest prep as that next level program. And she just, without missing a beat, I think she was
Yeah.
like, hey, you know what? We could give them space on the stage, like a transformation. They can
Mhm.
get on stage at my show. Okay. No details, nothing. I'm like, okay,
There we
that's fine.
are.
Yeah, we're just going to do it. And I look back, I think we all like looking back, you're like, wow, it's interesting when you are younger and less that you just make decisions so much more easily.
Yes.
You probably today, like if fast forward, you've never done that and now you're 40 something, you'd be like, oh, what? No,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Being younger or not knowing, and me just saying, all right, we're just going to pull it together. And we actually had less than 12 weeks.
Yes, it was a 10-week challenge.
It was
I
10
very
weeks.
much remember that.
It was 10 weeks. We have 10
Yeah.
weeks. And granted, everybody who said yes was already in a process, right? You guys were
Yes.
already like body challengers coming out the other end.
Yeah.
And we were just going to do whatever bathing suit that you
Yep.
could get
Victoria's Secret. Yep.
or Target or
Target.
Target. There were a couple, I think there were like 2 women who actually had suits that somewhat looked like competitor suits.
Not a diaper butt. Yeah.
Yeah, not a diaper, but they had the smaller suits, but definitely not all the bedazzling and whatnot.
Yeah.
And we arranged to have you guys tanned like at the show, like
Yeah.
a quickie tan
Yeah.
and quickie makeup and hair. Maybe it wasn't that quick, but we ended up, I think, with 24, 25-ish people who did eventually say yes.
I think so. I remember there was 2 classes, and it was your 40 plus and your 40 under, and they were pretty good. Yeah, it was about 12 and 12, I want to say. Yeah, I saw the original picture and we had so much fun though. And the whole process, even like the posing classes, just remembering how new and exciting it felt, and the fear of the unknown. There wasn't anybody on that page that had a clue of what they were doing except for you. So the questions, the comments, I mean, that I've never talked more about bikini waxing in my life.
Oh my God, I
That
forgot about that.
Oh my goodness. And the things it turned into. But I think what stuck with me, and even to this day, is we all had a reason why we were there. And it started for me as like a bucket list type of thing for when I turned 30. But really, it was a lot more than that. I had friends from the fitness asylum at this point, was a single mom at that time who moms in general, when do we ever invest in ourselves without feeling the guilt of, do I get this for me? Do I invest in myself? Do I invest in my health? And so finally, we all made the decision to do something selfish for ourselves. And just seeing the stories that you had a woman in there, and I can't remember her name now, but I just remember like crying watching her get up on stage. And I'm not typically an emotional person, but she was a breast cancer survivor. And that was like her moment, was getting out there. And people that had just been, there was a mom of 7 that was on stage. There were people that had gone through Angelica, her transformation, and then the culmination of that. There was a huge group of women that were just so inspiring, that all had their stories. And it was so much fun just to bond over that, to finally have a group where you could just be like authentically yourselves and nobody was judging. And it was so supportive. I said things on your pages that I would never say
It
to
was,
anyone.
yeah, and before I hit record again, we did talk about like just that first show experience will always be like probably one of the most favorite things because you're
Yeah.
just like, I have no idea. And how it does all come together. Even if you're like, I have no idea how this is going to come together, but then you did it.
Yeah.
You go
Yeah.
out there and you're like, wow, it did all come together. And once you just set your mind and everybody's okay, I'm in. Let's put our hand in.
Mhm.
Are you in? I'm in. That's what it was
Yeah.
like. Are you in?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
in.
Let's do this.
Let's do it. And
Yeah.
I just loved it in some ways. Like we laughed, and it was almost like, "Hey, we're the bad news bears of bikini.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. I say that all the time.
We're just like gonna figure it
The
out. We've never done
poses.
this before."
Oh, everything. It was so funny. Yeah. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
great.
it was a lot of fun, and it was the un just that we had no idea like how it would just blow up though. Like it in hey, did you just see what those people did?
It took off
It
after
took
that.
off.
It
It did.
really did. And you knew it because you would get a little bit of just a little bit of criticism online mixed in with a lot of interest and a lot of excitement. And that's how you know you're making an impression is when you get the hater comments. And we started to see that a little bit. And I think it was just like fear of the unknown. People didn't know what it was about. They didn't understand it. I think for us too, we didn't realize how much of a culture bodybuilding actually is. And that was a very surprising thing for me to see too. It was
Yeah.
like this is the whole thing.
It's a whole thing, a whole other world that you
Yeah.
had no idea existed. But what is cool, the Fitness Asylum as a team, as like the breeding ground, so to speak, ground zero for
Yeah.
transformation, took a lot of people who never knew anything about the sport, who would have never competed,
Yeah.
and sent them on this trajectory.
Yeah.
You
And it
included.
was, yes, and it was so different from in my wildest dreams, I don't think I could have ever imagined picking something for myself that involved getting in a bikini, getting on stage, and there was a lot of things that, that we could have done as women to empower ourselves, to build that confidence again, to find ourselves in the midst of motherhood and careers, and you kind of lose a little bit of yourself in that. And there was nothing more eye-opening, and it was awesome. I love it. I
You
love
bring
it.
up you mentioned something I think that is really it's real, right? As
Mhm.
moms, right? So I had a conversation with another
Yeah.
fitness owner, and his primary business is actually kids, right?
Yeah.
And kids who play baseball, right? So this might ring true for you as having
Yeah.
a child who is an athlete. As moms, we will pay anything for our
Yeah.
kids to get
Yep.
the team or get the equipment or get the coaching, get all the things and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars later.
Yes.
We'll do it all for them.
Yes. Yep.
But when it comes to us, then we're, ooh, I'll just wear these pants from Target that I got 14 years ago because they still fit. It's fine. It's no big
Yeah.
deal. I'm going to go
My
without.
$2 Amazon Essential t-shirt. Yes.
I'm going to go without. It's fine. I shouldn't have a gym membership. I see it all the time. Like we
Yeah.
feel, ooh, I don't want to take away from my kids or I shouldn't do something for me, but you do
Yeah.
get to a point, especially when what I think was powerful was the fitness asylum community of other women and not in a bad way. Hey, you should do if there was never the messaging that you're doing it wrong or you should do more for yourself, but
Right.
hey, we could do this.
Yeah.
If you do it, I'll do it. And do you
Yeah.
want to do it? Does she want to do it? Let's just do it. Let's just,
Yeah.
and it was a bold move to just say, okay, we have no idea. We don't know. And then
Yeah.
once you're in, you're like in and you're like, sure, I'll spend what, $700 on a bedazzled bikini? Sure, yes. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm in. You got me.
Yep.
Like I'm all in. Not saying you have to do that. And I think sometimes
Right.
people get scared off because I'm always like, hey, you know what? If somebody wants to try this, compete, join us, I'll find you a bikini to borrow. And I
Yeah.
literally have one in my house right now. Like
Yeah.
I will get you one that you could borrow, you could rent, you could try on. Like we all work with each other to be like, hey, we're not trying to make
Yeah.
this the hardest sport, the most expensive sport, it doesn't have to be.
Right.
It doesn't.
No.
You get to
Nope.
decide to what level. It's more about the experience.
It's the experience. It totally is the experience because borrowing bikinis, things like that, saving on heels, there's all these ways around. If you want to do your hair and makeup and you don't want to pay, go ahead, do your hair and makeup. I do my hair and makeup all the time. But it's the experience. And that's something that it's unmatched. You can't get it anywhere else. You can see other coaches doing other things and whatnot, but it's the group at the fitness asylum, I think, that made it for us. I never would have said, yeah, I'll do that if I was on my own. So
Correct.
it's that community. It made a huge difference. And just having that support. And we're still friends all these years later, which is amazing. So
Yes.
they were my workout buddies, my walking buddies. Now I see a lot of them at the high school with my son. Their kids are graduating and stuff too. And yeah, it opened up a whole new world. And we have this shared experience now that we've all bonded over. We've spent time naked and tanning tents and whatever else together. So,
Yeah. It
yeah,
is it is
we're
a
in it.
shared
We're
it
in
is
it.
yeah, it's an incredible shared experience that it's hard to describe, but it is we all did hard things together and
We did.
we did you push yourself out of your comfort zone. You have people cheering for you. And it's like a lot of team sports where it's yeah, we're a team. Yeah, it could be that you're out on the stage competing against each other, but you're really competing against yourself.
Yeah. And I think that's a really good point too, because a lot of us, I think too, whether we had been athletic in high school or dancers or cheerleaders or whatever, I ran track and played soccer. There's not really much after. We're not pro athletes. So what was there to still keep that like competitive edge that we all still have? You have it when you have it. It doesn't go away. And I wasn't really ready for the bocce course at whatever
Yeah.
down in Florida. I think that also helped us feel like satisfied in that aspect too, that it was a team sport for us and it was glamorous and all of that stuff, but you're athletes when you're up there. It is very athletic to get to that stage. It's very athletic to be up on that stage. And I think for us, like it gave us something back that we felt like we were missing. So for me personally anyway, so
Yeah, no, I think it fulfills a lot of in some ways it just fulfills this idea of I feel like I have my own identity. Just
yeah.
I'm me. And granted, yeah, I'm still a wife or a mom or a friend or a daughter or whatever, but I have a person like look at this persona that
Yeah,
I
I'm still here.
yeah, I'm still here. I still got it. Or what is funny on the flip side, some people who maybe weren't athletes, right? It gives them a venue, like an avenue.
Mhm.
Hey, even if you weren't, maybe you were picked last for kickball. Sorry, but you
Yeah.
know what?
Yeah,
This is still a viable sport because it's not, you
absolutely.
don't have to hit a ball or dunk a basketball or something like that. This is about you making a decision that you're going to go to the gym, you're going to go for a walk, you're going to like take care of yourself in a certain way and see how far you can go, essentially.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
the story, I really get so much out of just because I've known you obviously for a very long time.
Yeah.
We never really connected and gone through like the whole experience. But what is cool about once you're in the sport and once you have so many years under your belt and you have all the experience, for anybody listening, like Kelly isn't just, oh, she used to compete with us or whatever. She has been one of our posing coaches because it's like, hey, I know and trust that you have all this experience. You've been on multiple stages, you've been an amateur, you've been a pro, you've had your share on the stage. And then now that full circle moment where, Kelly
Mhm.
actually becomes part of our coaching team.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
It's
I'm so excited.
super full circle. And because that is who we have as coaches, is somebody who obviously has been on the team, has been on stage, and our coaches will always have either bikini or figure or fit body or bodybuilding or a combination. But you bring obviously some unique experiences. You're from the very first team, right? You're from Team Victoria's Secret.
Yep.
You're from the
Bad news
very,
bears.
yeah, Victoria's Secret team. You're from the very beginning where you saw the evolution. You've seen also the evolution, not just of our team, but just how the landscape of bodybuilding in general has changed.
Oh, it's definitely changed. Yeah.
How things have grown and exploded in different ways, the different federations, the changing of the guard, so to speak. Like you've
Yeah.
been here for the whole ride.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been an exciting journey because I never would have thought that my first day in the fitness that would I ever be a coach down here. And it just happened to be the perfect time. I just had my son 4 months ago. I know I'm not going to be competing anytime soon because of the recovery and rehab that I'll do post-pregnancy, but I still want to stay involved because I love watching it. Like I truly love watching these transformations. And that's why I loved the posing class too much. This works out better because I won't be going into the gym on Sundays or whatever the case is to teach in person, but it still keeps me connected. And I think that was huge for me. I was so excited to have that opportunity to do that because you do. And even seeing people that have not competed before in posing classes, it is. Oh, I've been there before. Yes, my legs were shaking up on stage the first time too. And it's just like the thrill of it all and being able to explain that to them. You're going to love this.
Yeah.
Just wait.
Seeing the transformations, I think, never gets old. It just
No, it
never
really
gets old.
doesn't. Yeah,
When
it
you,
does.
yeah, when you're just like, wow, like sometimes there's a gap, right? I saw you at kickoff or I saw you at a posing class, and I know that you exist because we're interacting online or what have you.
Yeah.
And then at the show, I'm like, who's that? Like I have to be like,
Yeah.
wait, I have to do like the double take.
Yeah.
And it's fun to see the person have a double take. Wait, this is really
Mhm.
me. I'm like, it's really you. You did
Yeah.
you did
Yeah,
this.
it's hard when you're in it. It's hard to see that transparent. I think you had always told us, and there's nothing could be more true, is that when you're in it, you're not going to really see it. We're seeing ourselves all the time when posing classes and checking pictures and whatnot. It's when you're after post show and you're looking at the very first picture to the post show transformation. That's when you're able to really see everything. And
Yeah. Too
and that
close to the
was
project, right? You're just too close
yes,
to the project. You're so used
yes.
to, you're like right up here where you cannot see. You need to zoom out.
Yeah, yeah. But even still, when you look back at those pictures and you're just, even to this day, I look back and I'm like, oh, I remember exactly what I was feeling in that moment or on that stage or what I was doing, what I wasn't doing. And it's just, yeah, it's a lot of fun. These will always be very fond memories for me. And I hope to be back at it someday. I always told you, I'm like, Bonnie, I'll be back.
Yeah, no, it is interesting. And Kelly, it's funny how she started. She had a 4-year-old son, and now, like, she's going to be a coach with a new 4-month-old son, right? Yeah, you're never, and that's also like a kind of a side story. Like, women in their 40s and 50s are still having babies,
Yeah,
are still getting on stage. And this is a great sport for women in their 40s and 50s. You have that level of muscle maturity that you wouldn't have had in your 20s, right? Kelly and I spoke, and even though she started working out and was at the Fitness Asylum and she's a former athlete, like it wasn't until like early 30s where she was like, oh, okay, things are starting to change favorably. It's not like
yes.
things are sliding backwards and I wish I was 20. No, things
Mhm.
are actually markedly improved.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that you don't really get to see that and the body challenge was fantastic. I achieved the results that I wanted to achieve with the body challenge, but to push to that next level and to actually see like what you're made of through the bikini challenge, that was awesome. I never knew I had muscle under there. I was like, oh, there it is. But over the years, you just get better. That's the whole thing. And you look at people or like icon, I'll call her, like Mary Beth. Like
Yeah.
she was one that I will always look up to Mary Beth with competing. And we started at the same time. We were on the same team. Her dedication, her commitment, and how she's come from her very first transformation team, Bad News Bears Victoria's Secret team to
Yeah.
now multi pro card holder. And there were so many of them too. I just think of Angelica, Mary Beth, Alyssa. I could name go on people that just started as just I'll dip my toe in the water, or for me personally, this is my bucket list item, or I'm gonna get a group of girlfriends and we're gonna go ahead and do this together, to like multiple pro card winners, world champions. It's funny once you're in.
Yeah. It really is. And the thing of it is, we start as, hey, we're a bikini challenge. Okay. And it's, wait, are we more than a bikini challenge? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you're like, you have the transformation piece, but you have a competitive team across all categories. And that's a mouthful. What do we call that? That's the competitive team across, like we call it
Yeah.
bikini. And it's just like, we have the Fitness Asylum bikini team. And by the way, we are trying to come up with maybe a team name that isn't like, that just makes it simple. But
Yeah.
we enjoy the transformation part so much, but also to your point, you're going to keep transform, like you're going to keep going. Like this
You
is,
just keep going. Yeah.
if you keep going, you will improve, you will get better, you will have more time on stage, you will have more experience, your body will get more muscular, you'll get leaner. You'll see from, as you're looking at your photos, you're like, okay,
Mhm.
photos, right?
Mhm.
Here's day one. Here's the first
Yeah.
comp. Here's me winning my first pro card or my first pro win or all of that stuff. And you're like, yeah, you know how I got there? I kept going.
Yeah. Yep. It was. And you don't necessarily need to like take time off or take a break. You just keep going. And that's how, yeah, you just longevity wise too, I think that it makes a big difference as far as aging and whatever the case may be, and keeping that health is important and all of that thing. But the important part is
To keep
yeah.
going. And we are very health forward, knowing we're not trying to beat your body into the ground. We're not trying to like do shortcuts where we're taking hormones or anything like that. But one of the
Right.
things, yeah, I mean, there's all different kinds of teams out there. And I take great pride in saying, hey, this Fitness Asylum team is different than most any big transformation teams or these other teams you might see online. You got to sometimes read between the lines or look more
Yeah.
closely at the photos. But what is interesting too, because you can keep making those improvements. Sometimes it is easy to get in your head, oh, geez, I need to go way off. See, I have to take some off season time to build. I have to do all this other stuff off the radar, and that's not
Yeah.
always necessarily true. Like sometimes it really is. You don't have to. You want if you keep going, you're not going to get into a situation where you need to lose 20 pounds every show.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
That's the
And
key
that's
takeaway.
that is the key takeaway. And understanding, I think, for us, and you did a really good job of helping us understand that, is this isn't a lifestyle. This is like a fun competition. You're not going to walk around looking like you did on show day every day, but
Right.
there's ways to maintain a portion of that to make it easier for the next time. And I think that was the key. It's not like a free for all afterwards where we're just going to go off plan. It's a little part of a lifestyle journey. You have to be clean eating and working out all the time to maintain that. And
Yeah.
then you have your challenge where you're leaning out, and but understanding that I'm not going to look like this a couple days after the show, but I achieved something that 90% of the population does not actually ever achieve. I put myself through something, I challenged myself in a way that I never thought that I would. And going into that and understanding that, and you'll have a really good, whether you're taking a year off or not taking a break or whatever the case is, but that is the key. It's not to put pack on the 20 pounds after post show and then have a harder time. It's just, let's see what else I can do. What else am I capable of? And
Yeah.
understanding that part of it is really important.
And that's the thing, like for yourself, when you have a 10-year career and you can see, okay, from season to season, these are the changes I was able to make because I was going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep working at it and looking at a Mary Beth Turner or looking at anybody who's
Yeah.
had that longevity. Even for somebody who does just 2 or 3 seasons, like there's
Yeah.
going to be a difference, right? Rather than just do one and then I'm going to come back in 5 years. You can do
Yeah.
that. You're probably going to start back at square one, and that's okay too. Like, I do find it fun to have somebody come back who says, you know what, now's a better time, or I've been strength training a little bit longer. Like, the door never closes because, again, women in their 40s and 50s, this is prime time. This is your time.
Yeah. It
Um,
is
it really is. So I know we could talk about, it's just so fun to talk
forever.
about, especially as you have that unique experience. If somebody's watching and they're on the fence or they don't think they could do it, what would be your advice to them?
Oh, you just have to bite the bullet and do it. And I'll just a little bit about personally why I decided to bite the bullet and do it is I was going through something personally in my life that I just needed to change. I just needed to completely go in an opposite path that I would ever do. And I'm very much an introvert. This was not anything. Whenever anybody told me that I was going to have to get up on stage in a bikini and do like an individual walk, I almost just about walked out of the room. Like that was not going to happen for me. I'm so glad I did. It has helped me personally, it has helped me professionally, it has helped me as a mom, social settings. The level of anxiety that I had prior to this versus like the confidence that I have now, like I'm a completely different person. And it's I guess like cliche to say my bikini challenge did that part, but like it actually did. So it really did. And it was part of the workouts and obviously balancing the hormones in that regard and eating clean. And then to have this like moment at the end of it that like all encompassing, get out on stage, and it was so empowering. And the confidence, yeah, I was scared shitless. My feet were shaking, my legs were shaking. Somebody told me I had to do an individual pose down with Christine Silvestri, and I almost died. And I was like, what do you mean? But at the end, the adrenaline rush and the feeling of self-accomplishment, and it's just, yeah, you got to do it. You got to bite the bullet. If I can do it, literally anybody can do it.
Yeah,
So,
it is fun. Like our original group was like, you were probably on the younger end, I believe, of that
I
original.
think so.
You were
Yeah,
on the
I
younger
think
end. It
so.
was a lot of women already in their late 30s and early 40s. And yes, I have the most fond memories. Obviously, all of it is good just watching the trajectory, right? Starting there, like knowing that's the start where you're like,
Mhm.
I'm an unintentional bikini competitor. I
It
had,
really was.
yeah,
Yeah.
I had this was not really on the list, but okay, you put it out there. I guess I'll check it off. And then it
Mhm.
just rockets
Yeah.
from there.
Yeah. It's funny because you see people and they're like, yeah, this is my bucket list. I'm like, cool. I'll see you next year.
See you next see you next season. You could
Yeah.
get the one and done. I still have conversations with women who just competed and they're like,
Yeah.
okay, I signed up. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I knew you would eventually. I was
Yeah, exactly.
just over here
Yeah.
waiting for you for it to kick in to be like, hey, you know what? That was like the best time of my life, and
Yeah.
I want to do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do. Even now, I think 40s plus is a great place to start too, because your kids are a little more settled, and 50s plus, and you have a little more free time to do it. It's the best time. Yeah, I would highly recommend it to anybody. Bite the bullet. You got to do it. Invest in yourself and just have a good time.
Yeah, we're going to have fun. I'm super
Yeah.
excited for this fall for us to work together, coaching all of the team. Thanks for
Mhm.
spending time with me today, and I'll be in touch with you really soon.
Sounds good. Thank
All right.
you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.